Hey, what's up, folks? So thanks for coming and hanging out for the Shorts workshop. Welcome, everybody. We got there's quite a few people in chat right now. So just going to give you all a shout out real quick. Good to see Jim and Jill and Sam and Adir and Lil Ray Corbett and Jason and a couple others just hanging out that haven't joined in the chat. So first off, I just want to start with a thank you for everybody that's here. That means you purchased, I guess it was the ultimate or VIP package of the Shorts. So kind of give you all, I kind of got a little outline we're going to go over here, and that'll very much involve y'all's feedback. But the first thing, just to thank you. The second thing is we're going to do one of these product builds every month for the rest of the year. We're going to do a 24-hour challenge. Actually, we're doing 8 total for the year. There's a few months we're not doing because we have product launches going on. Thought it might be crazy trying to do a new product while we're launching an existing product. So thanks for being part of the very first one we ever did. We're actually planning out the next one, which will happen next Friday right now. We're going to fly the whole team into Nashville. I just want to make sure I was broadcasting here. We're going to fly the whole team into Nashville. We're going to bring in a programmer friend of mine, actually 2 of them. I think we're going to even bring in a film crew to do like a live stream of the entire thing and package up at the end the recording of the whole day as like a little mini like 10-minute documentary type of thing of just a day behind the scenes of creating a product from scratch. So it should be pretty interesting. The product that I'm pretty sure we're going to do, we haven't pulled the trigger on it yet, but the product is I don't know the name of it. I'm trying to come up with a name. So maybe the person that comes up with the name, if you put a name in chat and we wind up using it, then you'll get the product for free. And I think we're going to start the product right around $500. So the product is going to be this, and this whole workshop isn't about the product. I was kind of, since y'all are part of that, I want to give you all a sneak peek and let you be a part of maybe sculpting that a little bit. So the product is going to work like this. One of the biggest pains about building a product and launching a product is the launch process. There's just all different types of stuff you can do, and it's a pain in the butt. We've went through 2 big product launches now, and there's a lot of work, a lot of planning, a lot of that kind of stuff. Just setting up your calendars and knowing what things to do and all that, like it can just be hard. So we're going to build something where you can just load up maybe an Excel document, probably a website that you have access to once you buy the product. And you can just put in your open cart date, say, hey, I want to launch on April the 1st, 2016, hit a button, and it tells you everything you need to do. It tells you exactly the dates you should do everything at. And you can toggle a few settings, like if you don't want to do a webinar or you don't want to do a bonus, you want to add in a bonus or something, there's a few basic settings you can fill in. You hit a button and it tells you everything you need to do between now and the launch. It breaks it down by week, and it also gives you 5 calendars that it completely fills out with every major event on it, every email you need to send, and then suggestions on what those emails should look like for all of that. So it's kind of a mesh up between what we've done, automating all that. And honestly, we're building this for internal purposes. Like I want to go ahead and start planning the October launch of 10K subs. And like that just takes a couple of weeks to put all that stuff together. So this program, you can just enter one date, press a button, and it tells you everything you need to do, fills up your calendar. You can press another button and it'll fill up a Google Calendar for you automatically with all those dates. So you know within 5 seconds everything you need to do for your launch. You know the pre-launch content you need to create, you know the major dates you need to do everything on. Like I've walked coaching clients through this, and it takes 2 or 3 calls to walk them through everything, planning out all the dates and everything. You can do all that instead of taking 3 hours or 3 weeks like it takes us. You can do it in 5 seconds. So I'm thinking about that's what we're going to build. There's quite a few technical things that go along with that. And the first version might be like a minimal viable launch, like your first launch. And then later on, we could potentially add, excuse me, options for like a full-blown 10-day launch with affiliates, and maybe a 7-day launch or a 3-day launch. Add different launch sequences or launch templates in there that you could choose from. That's the idea right now. The flight journal. I like that. That's a decent. I don't like the name journal, but I've been trying. I'd want the name not to have the word launch in it. Like that's a caveat, and I can't figure out a name for it. So if somebody comes up with a name for it, you'll get a free lifetime copy of it if you coin the name inside of this workshop here. So that's the first thing. So first off, thank you. Second off, that's a kind of a sneak peek behind what we're going to do next Friday. So keep your eyes and ears out for emails about that. We're going to do everything in 24 hours. So next thing, I'm going to put a link into chat in case you don't have it, that brings you to the Shorts. So if you didn't get that for some reason, there it is. Let me give you the audiobook version as well. If you haven't listened to the audiobook version, go read to it. There's some extra stuff in there that I didn't include inside of the text-based book. So you can get the Shorts book, which is still living in a Google Doc. Catherine my designer completely flaked out on me. Me and Catherine were talking. She's a great designer and has designed stuff for us in the past. I actually hired a designer to work on the shorts for me. I was supposed to have it done within 24 hours, the 24-hour deadline, but he just completely disappeared and haven't heard from him since. So it's still living in a Google Doc. We hope to get that polished up and put into a nice, pretty format sometime in the future. The MP3 version, the audiobook version is at the link below. Check it out, listen to it. I wanted to cover two of my favorite strategies from inside the shorts first before we kind of jump in. So we're gonna cover two of my favorites. I'm gonna walk you through why they're so smart to use. Yeah. And the next thing is I'm going to walk you through two more strategies I found since I released the shorts. And then I want to open it up to you guys. And specifically, a lot of people had questions about how do I apply this strategy for my world? So if while we're talking through any of these, you have any questions like what tech do you use or how do I use this for my industry? I don't see a direct correlation. Put them in chat. We'll come to them. We'll talk about that specifically. And if there's no questions, we'll just end the workshop. There also will be a replay of this that goes out. We'll record this and send it out to everybody. It's a part of your package. So you'll have the shorts book, the audio book, and the workshop you can reference at any point. All right. So two of my favorite shorts from the book. The first one, if you go to the document, it's number 13. It's called, what did I title it? Check out how ClickFunnels allows you to get 100% opt-in rates. Okay. So let me walk you through how, and this is great for partnerships. Okay. So this is where, let's say, for instance, you're doing a webinar, like you're inviting lead pages to your list. You're going to email your list a couple times about the lead pages webinar. Your goal is to get as many people on your list to the lead pages webinar as possible, because Tim's then going to teach them and then sell them something, and you make a commission of what they sell. Or it could work like this. You invite somebody to your list to teach, just a straight up teaching thing, no selling. But your goal is to get as many people possible on your list to that workshop so that your relationship with them will be deepened. They'll get value out of it, and they'll be more likely to buy stuff from you in the future or reach the end result that you want. Another example would be somebody promoting your stuff. So you're doing a product launch. You recruit affiliates, or you recruit a friend that has a similar list, like a similar interested list as you. That friend emails his list about your course. Let's say you have the 3-part video series thing. You have a free class before the launch. And your goal is to get him to email 2 or 3 times about the video series. When he emails, people click the link in his email. People on his list click the link in his email, go to the landing page, click the button on the read the landing page, click the button, enter their email, click another button, and they sign up for your list now. And you kind of have a dedicated email series specifically for those people to get them to buy your course. Okay, so that's how a promotion generally works. Little Red Corbett said, am I missing anything here? I'm not sure. So we're going over, Corbett, 2 strategies that I like the most from the shorts. And I'm going to kind of walk through them in detail of why they're so good. And then we're going to go over 2 new things, and then we're going to open it up for questions. So that's the format we're going through. Maybe you zoned out for a minute, didn't catch that. If so, just ask in chat if you have any questions. Happy to answer them. All right, so that's how a promotion typically works. When you email for somebody, or when someone emails for you, you're sending them to a landing page. When they go to the landing page, they're going to have to read the landing page. So people have to first open the email, then read the email, then click the email. Yeah, if you aren't seeing me, just refresh the page. So open the email, click the email, go to the landing page, read the landing page, click a button on the landing page, enter their information, and then click another button, and then they're signed up for your list. And once they're on your list, then you're able to potentially sell them or do whatever you want to do to them. So 7 steps of it via a typical promotion strategy. With the ClickFunnels, with strategy number 13, it takes it to 2 steps. So let's say you have 1,000 people you send that email to. Of those 1,000 people, maybe, let's say, I don't know, 15%. So that's 150 of those 1,000 people actually sign up for the list, because all those different steps. With the one-click opt-in with ClickFunnels, the way it works is, as soon as they click on that link, the email address of the person that opened the email is automatically behind the scenes entered into that landing page and opted into that list. So instead of having to do the 7 steps to opt in, you send an email. As soon as they click the link in the email, they're automatically opted in. So all they have to do is open the email, click the email. That's it. Ooh, Product Pathfinder. Too many syllables. Product Pathfinder, 4 syllables. I'd probably like to keep it 2 to 3 max, but I like the direction you're going, Catherine. So Catherine put in chat one of the names potentially for the launch thing called the Product Pathfinder. Flight Path. I like that. We're getting somewhere. This is sounding better than what I had in mind. Okay, so that's the ClickFunnels strategy takes you from being able to convert 15% of people that click to actually opting in to 100% of people that click are immediately opted in. And you can use this if you're promoting other people's stuff or if they're promoting your stuff. Like, for example, we did like 20 or 30 workshops leading up to the launch of 10K subs last year. All in told, those are emailed out to around 300,000 to 400,000 email subscribers. Of those 300,000 to 400,000 email subscribers, we picked up around 15,000 to 20,000 of those. We could have easily have doubled or tripled that, going from 15,000 to 45,000 if we would have had this one-click opt-in thing. If I just known it would have existed, and I didn't even know it was a thing. So if y'all are interested, I'll show you, or maybe not. Maybe I don't care about showing you behind the scenes. I think I put a few snapshots inside of the Shorts book where you can see how to do that. But you have the ClickFunnels is the only app that I know of that allows you to do this. In fact, we're thinking about building an app in one of our 24-hour product challenge days where you can just pay like a one-time fee or a low monthly fee and be able to do this as a standalone product and not have to pay you $100 a month to get an app. That's one thing you want to do out of it. But it is if you do any promotion with other people, if you promote other people's stuff via affiliates or they promoting your stuff to grow your list at all, the one-click opt-in thing is probably the single best list building strategy I've seen since I've started. Like, it's that good. It's really, and this isn't hyperbole. Like, it literally takes 100% of people that click and opts them in versus 15 to 20% of people that click and opt in. Or maybe if you have a really good landing page, you get 50% of people that land on that page to opt in. Now you'll get 100% of the people on that landing page to opt in. So it's really, really smart. There's nothing else out there that I've seen like it. Would highly recommend using it. It's not like lead links. So lead links, from what I've used, and it's been a few months since I've used it, but lead links simply changes people on the list inside of your list. So this lets people opt into your list from another list with one click. Lead link simply is like it basically gives you tagging functionality with email service providers that don't have tagging. So like if you are on MailChimp and you have your main list and you want to develop an interest list, when they click the link, it's going to add them to the interest list. But it's not going to move them between other people's lists. A fundamental, massive difference between the two. This one, like if Catherine and Lavery in the chat there, she was a affiliate for 10K subs, and I forget the exact numbers. Catherine can share them if she wants to of what she generated from that. But let's say she produced 1,000 leads to the 10K subs program, and let's say out of that, 10% of those people turn into customers. So 1,000 leads to 10 customers equals around $14,000 as sales, and she made half of that, so she made $7,000. I have no idea if those are the accurate numbers. I'm just making this up. If instead in our affiliate promotion of 10K subs, we wouldn't have given her a link to the landing page to opt in for the free ebook and for the class, if instead we'd have given her a one-click opt-in link, she would have at least double the number of leads that she would have sent to us. So she would have sent 2,000 leads instead of 1,000 leads. And most likely that would have doubled the number of customers from 10 customers to 20 customers, double the amount of money she made from 7,000 to 14,000, all from having one link that was different. Like, not from growing her list significantly, just from having one link that's different. Caesar, unless they've made a substantial change in the last few months, it won't do that with lead links. Although if you found that's the case, cool, let me know. But last time we played around with it, it wouldn't do that. That's what I thought it would do when they first came out with it. But it requires doing some merge field stuff. The technicalities behind it will probably bore you, but it's really, really smart. So any questions, let me know. But that's the first one. That's by far the smartest thing that I've seen in list building in a very long time. Well, since I've been doing this, like, it's a substantial optimization points. It could double your list growth, double your sales if you're doing affiliate stuff. Just depending on what the partnership looks like, it can help substantially. All right, second thing is, let me get the strategy number here. It is number 23. Let's see. Well, actually, there's two of them. I'll share this one first. It's 23 and 24. So 23 is, I wrote a blog post about this general premise a couple months ago, but this is the first time I've seen it in the wild. Like, I actually seen somebody reaching out to me with this. Somebody, let me get a drink of water. Ate almonds for lunch, or had some almonds for lunch, and man, those little shavings of the almonds get down in your throat and make it impossible to talk. Anyway, all right, so the lead pages strategy, let's check out how lead pages mainly reaches out to cold prospects. This is a really smart strategy. I think it can even be, I'm thinking of how I can use this in the 10K subs curriculum in the early stages. I think it can be a very good strategy early on and a very good strategy later on as well. So basically, this is what they do. They use a site like Nerdy Data, and there's 3 or 4 others out there. I don't know their names off the top of my head that work like them. And they find signals where people have signaled on their website. So this won't work for every industry, although it'll work for a lot. And if you're creative, you can use the basic principle of this for any industry. But they use a signal. Let's say you're selling WordPress themes. Let's say you've developed this cool new theme, and you know that people that use Optimize Press or Thrive themes, or let's say you're Yasha Brinkman. So I did a promotion recently, or I told people about Yasha's theme recently. It's a really good theme optimized for email collection. You can go to growththeme.com, I think is the URL, or Google that, should come up. So Yasha wants to sell more of his theme. Yasha knows that if you're a Lead Pages user, that's a signal that you're savvy enough to know that you need to improve your website design in order to optimize conversions. He knows if you use Optimize Press or Optimizely or Visual Website Optimizer or Thrive Themes or Sumo Me plugin or like any number of plugins, he knows that that's an indication that you're someone that's interested in optimizing your site. So he could use a site like Nerdy Data to run a little bit of JavaScript through the site. And let me just show you real quick how to do this, because this is pretty interesting. All right, let me open this up. So let's just go to videofruit.com. Log into videofruit.com. We'll make this quick. And just let me know in chat if you want me to move on, and happy to tailor this for whatever. All right, so the first key is you have to find a signal. So you make a list of plugins or themes or softwares or whatever indication like that you could track online. That some of these, that could be a tweet, it could be a Pinterest, it could be any number of things that people do. I'm going to use a website as an example. So we're going to look for a unique signature for Sumo Me on this page. And if we do just a quick search for Sumo Me, we pull up this little script right here. And we want to make sure we don't highlight any of the stuff that would be unique to our site. We just want the stuff that would be on, like what would be on everybody that uses Sumo Me's site. Like this piece here most likely is going to be on every site that uses Sumo Me. So then we're going to go to nerdydata.com. And there's some tools out there. Maybe if y'all know of them in chat, y'all can put them in. There's some tools out there that will that I've found recently. I just can't think of the names of them, that do this in a slightly automated way too. Nerdy Data is updated actually. Searching source code. So enter this in. Download list. Oh, maybe I need to log in. Let me log in real quick. Used to, you could do this without having to log into anything. They must have changed. Yeah, crap. Anyway, so what's going to happen, just create you a free account and you'll be able to get 10 results. You can do a paid account and get a whole lot more. It's going to give you a list of sites that have that little data signature, or that little code signature on their site. And then you can do what Lead Pages has done here and reach out. And they just wrote this email. And this is actually a pretty crappy email. I was not impressed with their email specifically. It was more the overall strategy. Is significantly increasing conversion rates with the minimal investment on videofruit.com's 2016 agenda. I mean, that's kind of a dumb rhetorical question, but you can reach out to somebody and say, hey, I noticed you were using Lead Pages. I would love to show you how our WordPress theme can help you in conversions as well. Actually, there was a post written a while back. Let's see, Derek Halpern, stealing customers. Go read this post. I tend to just completely fundamentally disagree with Derek on his premise here, but you can see where somebody else is doing this. Let's see. This is where I think this was Encore from Teachable actually that was doing this, and I think it's a pretty smart strategy. You have to walk a fine line. All sales. Well, I come from a corporate sales background, and my job in corporate sales was to find people using other products and get them to switch and start using my product. So I can't think of the word. I just have I have a very high tolerance for taking other people's customers. And you can't cross, there's particular lines you can't cross, but let's just read what Encore wrote here. I saw your post on Derek Halpern's course's site. Have you looked at, and that's going to be teachable.com. It's not a WordPress plugin, but I think it has everything you're looking for by handling content, hosting, delivery, and payment processing automatically. Feel free to drop me an instructor community if you have any questions at all. And then his name and thing right there. So that's actually a halfway decent email that was written, reaching out to somebody else's customers, getting them to switch. And, so that's a template you could look at as well. Seems like there were some other ones here. Anyway, so that was a pretty decent one here. Y'all can read through this post and see if you agree or disagree with this. But if somebody is good enough that they can go to my paying customers, send them one email and convert them, they deserve it. If you out hustle me and you outsell me, then go for it, man. So this is a great strategy early on. You probably need a higher lifetime value of a customer. So if you're selling like a $20 ebook, not the best strategy. If you're selling a $200 or $2,000 or $20,000 item of some sort, it's gonna be a whole lot more worth it the higher up you get, because you're gonna have to churn through, depending on how well you can do in the sales process, probably churn out 100 plus people to get a customer. Just depending on how well you can do. And there's some automation things you can do in this as well to help you out, like kind of churn through this quicker, but be sure the script is good, and be sure you remove your current customers. Like that's the number one thing that Lead Pages didn't do a good job of. They sent this out to somebody who not only is a current customer, but it's an affiliate for them. Like the day before I got this email, I did an affiliate webinar selling Lead Pages. So they did kind of a poor job of that, and the script sucks. I tend to like encores over here in this Derek Halpern post better. So anyways, this is a great thing. You could do this to start with. Like one thing we teach inside of 10K subs is in the early days, reach out to people one-on-one. Look for signals that they're interested. Look on search.twitter.com. Look on Facebook. Search hashtags on Instagram. Look for signals that people have installed things that are related to your industry on their site. Look for directories. Look for lists of people and reach out to them individually. Look for a signal they're interested or have an interest in your product or should have an interest in your product, and then write an email to them, reaching out to them, set up a call, set up a trial, whatever makes sense for your specific thing. All right, I'm going to turn this screen share thing off now. Come back to chat. If you have any questions on that, let me know. It's an interesting topic. Product Slingshot. Slingshot, I like that general idea. Lift off, blast off, flight journal, product list, the soaring, flightly. Interesting. All right, so we'll keep on going. I like the Slingshot idea, actually. That's a cool. I like having some alliteration or analogy thing, like slingshot, really quick, kind of fun, energetic kind of thing. That's cool. Catherine, you're the current front runner. What do you do with a copied script? You paste it. Excuse me. You paste it inside of Nerdy Data. Nerdy Data will spit out a list of sites that use that script, and then you reach out to those individual site owners. Excuse me, and sell them your product. Oh man, my throat is killing me. All right, so those are the two strategies. Actually, one more strategy that I would recommend as well. This is something I've been using a lot lately. I used it about a year and a half ago, and just over the last few days, actually the last few weeks, I've started using it again. This is strategy number 23. Oh no, actually it's not. Strategy number 24, and it's how I've been writing my blog post. Writing really long blog posts takes me a long time. Like I published one 2 or 3 weeks ago, the final copy of the post-mortem from the last launch. I think it's like all the data and numbers from our latest product launch or something. It's like 10,000 words. It took me forever. At least took me 50 hours to write. And I need to speed up that process. So I went back to doing something I've done in the past. And that is when I want to write a blog post, I just want to give it a working title and then outline it real quick. Like what are the major points of it? Then I'm going to pull out my phone, open up voice recorder, hit record, and just talk through the entire thing. Just talk through the bullet points of it. And then take that. I just use voice recorder and I just share it and send it via email to somebody to transcribe. And I just use my assistant for that. You can use anybody. There's a bunch of services out there that'll do that for you for pretty cheap. I think my cost, it took her like an hour or two to cost $30, I think was the cost of the transcription. You could probably get it done for less. And then, so I took that transcription and then, so the first step is come up with a basic premise, outline it, talk through it. Number 4 is take that transcription and just pretty it up. So now I think the first version of the latest blog post I wrote, I think it was my year in review post, the last one I did with this. The first version was like 6,000 words. I think the published version was around 3,000. So I just then you just go through and cut out a bunch of stuff, but you use that as the starting point. And it took me, I think the 3,000 word blog post took me like 2 hours to write doing this method versus the previous way of doing it would have taken me 10 to 15. So substantially cuts down the amount of time it takes to write a blog post. That's another strategy I would highly recommend using and that I've been using going forward. Rev.com is $1 a minute. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Good recommendation. And they do transcriptions, I assume. Yeah, so cool. I'll start using them. Because it kind of like ours is kind of expensive and I don't want it to cost that much. Dragon Recorder, yeah, that might work as well. Like I haven't really optimized around price of the transcription. I've just been the last 3 I think I've written have been doing that. It's mainly like, let me just get this going and then we'll worry about optimizing price later. Evernote might as well. Transcription on your phone. I didn't know my phone did transcription. That's cool. Yeah. So yeah, you can get caught up in the technicalities of it. Look at the overall strategy, which is don't start with a blank screen. Start with a bullet point. Start with you talking. Start with a transcription, and then pretty that up into the final blog post. That can work really well. All right. So those were 3 of my favorite strategies: ClickFunnels, lead pages, how to write a blog post. 2 new strategies I found. First one is, I'm just going to link y'all to this. Let me pull it up real quick. Seth Godin is launching a course. Actually, it's like a workshop thing right now. You can chat if you've seen this, but let me link you up to the blog post where he announced it. And he's doing it all like this. I've never seen anybody do something like this. It was really, really cool. Crap, where did chat go? Here it is. All right, there you go. So go to that blog post. This is a one-time workshop he's doing. You pay, I think it's $100. If you go to the blog post, at the bottom of the blog post, it says, actually, let me just share my screen. I'll walk you through this. There we go. All right, here we go. So you can click, you can get tickets here. And it tells you about the basic premise of it. Oh, crap, it's not accepting submissions. Don't fear, though. I snapshotted the whole page. Where is that at? Landing pages. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I'll pull this up for you. I didn't realize he'd taken that off. All right. Image. I do this all the time when I see cool stuff. You never know when people will take it down, so I snapshot it just for internal use. Can't sell this stuff or use it or anything like that, but you can use it internally. All right, so the leadership workshop organized by Seth Godin basically had this really long woo-foo form that walked you through what, and I guess he called it a course, but this is how it works. This is the basic premise. You show up, it starts tomorrow, and I guess they're not selling tickets anymore, but it starts tomorrow. It all happens in Slack. So the way he did it, let me just show you inside this Slack group. So you got this Slack group right here, and he assigns you a room to join. So you got open discussion, random, to ask for help or whatever. But then inside of this, you join a room, and there's like 5 to 10 people in each room. And then starting, I think it's at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, they'll go to each room and post the video. And I think they post a new video every 2 hours. So they got it divided out. It's like a 6-hour course every 2 hours. So I guess there's 3 or 4 videos or something. They'll come out, you'll watch the video, then they have action items for that 2-hour span. So it's live. Like you can, I think they remove the video for each lesson once you're done, but the goal is to get people in there live to do the stuff they're talking about, do it together. So there's going to be just a small group of 5 or 10 people watching this video together, doing the action items together and submitting them back. And then when the next 2-hour mark hits, they release another video, delete the old one, put the new action items up, and you work through that together. Really cool concept. Like one of the reasons I bought this was just to see how they did it. There were a few technical stuff with getting people into Slack, like it's actually not all that easy. They have a pretty crappy onboarding process, especially if you already are using Slack. But it's a really cool concept. They sold them for $100 a ticket. I think last I saw they had 600 or 700 people in it. Seth very rarely optimizes for revenue, which is perfectly fine. But one interesting thing to go along with this, I was having a really hard time logging in. I just couldn't get the link. So Seth gave me his personal phone number. I called him up and he got me hooked up. So I didn't really have a long conversation. It was a minute or two. It was really cool, just the customer service and him being so personally hands-on involved in it. So that's strategy number 2, or strategy number 1, the new one, is just that format of course. So not a growth strategy, but more of a content format type of strategy that I found really, really interesting. Thought I'd share with y'all. Yeah, it's in Slack, Corbett. All right, second strategy. This one's really neat too. Let me just share my screen again and show you this. So go to viperchill.com. Let me open up the screen. All right, incognito should do it. So go to viperchill.com. This is Glenn Alsop. Let's see if we can make this thing trigger. It triggered this morning for me. If not, I took a screenshot. I'll show you. It's not doing it. Let me log in. Let's do this. It won't do it on my main account. Crap. All right, let's open up Firefox. I don't want to take forever on this, but I do want to show you this. Some of these strategies are a little harder to show because once you've seen them one time, a lot of them shut off with Firefox, which I don't use that often. So Glenn has pretty good content. He's a little irregular on posting, but really has pretty in-depth stuff. Bummer. It's not doing it. All right, let me just show you the screenshot. So just this morning I saw this. Oh, where we go? Hold on a second. Hang tight. There it is. All right. So this is what I saw when I went to his website, and just ignore the highlights. So when I went to the website, it said Viper Chill would like to send you push notifications when a new article goes live. This is really, really smart. So this is like a push notification inside of your Chrome browser. All you got to do is click allow. When you click allow, it gives a little pop-up window. You click allow again, which ideally you wouldn't have to click allow twice, but and you click allow, and then it shows up. And actually, I'm just seeing now pushscrew.com. I didn't know if there was a service or if that was something he did custom, but it looks like he's using Pushscrew. Let's look at that real quick. Nope. Push Crew. All right, let's go to that. This might be the service you can use. I'll use this on Video Fruit for sure. Yeah, here we go. Send notifications to your users even when you're not on your website. Implement push notifications. This is really cool. Yeah, I'm gonna start testing this. I think this is a pretty freaking smart thing. It doesn't eliminate the need for email. It simply gives you a more direct notification channel. So anytime you press go on a post, it's going to send a push notification inside of the browser. We can click one button just like right here and go to that blog post. It's kind of like List Goal for me. It's just another distribution channel. Your click-through rates, your open rates, your read-through rates are going to be much higher with something like this because you just have no competition with that real estate versus email. You have a lot of competition. So this is a really cool app. I'm going to do a little more research, maybe do a more in-depth blog post on something like that later on. All right, so those are the two strategies, the Golden Course model and the Viper Chill notification thing. Any questions on those? But this is an OSX from a website. No, it's not OSX. It all works inside of your browser. The allow, I'm not sure what you mean there, Jill. I feel like I've never seen that before. Yeah, it's pretty cool. WordPress plugin for this pushupnotifications.com. Right, let me kill this so you don't have to see all this chat stuff. Browser share. Yeah, WordPress plugin. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's a cool new thing I found. All right, now it's your turn. We got about 15 minutes left. I got a workshop. We're actually doing a live blab session with Charlie Hohen and Brian. Charlie Hohen was like Tim Ferriss's right-hand man for 3 years. Helped him launch, I think, 4-Hour Body and 4-Hour Chef. Did a lot of stuff with him. A really cool dude. Met via email recently. And the second one is Brian Moran from Samcart. And get 1,000 or get 10,000 Facebook fans or something like that. Does a lot of Facebook ad stuff, but his current project is Samcart. A lot of cool stuff there. So we're doing a blab at 2 o'clock. So I need to cut off about 10 minutes, 15 minutes before that to prep. But we got the rest of this time. Any questions, any ideas on, or any questions on how to use some of these strategies? Or if you feel lost, if not, that's no big deal. But if you have any questions, I'm here for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Happy to help. So just put your questions in chat. If you want me to show you some more stuff, I can just go through my Evernote file and share some new stuff I found recently and keep doing that. Whatever y'all want. The rest of this time is 100% y'all's to the direct. So I'm actually going to go get a drink of water. So give me like 10 seconds. There's about a 10-second lag on this between this and real-time chat. So I'm going to go get some water so I don't cough more. Put in chat what you want to know about, any questions you have. If you want to know how to use these strategies, you want to see behind the scenes of anything I'm doing, happy to share anything. If you want to guess the name or pick a new name for the new product we're going to build or give suggestions on that, this is me and y'all for a little while. I'm going to take a 10-second break to get some water. BRB. All right, no questions. Anybody want to join in on Google Hangout chat? I'm going to put the link in here. Anybody that wants to hop on, come on video, and we can talk about your business, or I can ask you questions, or we can just sing Kumbaya to each other. Whatever you want to do. What is, Little Red Corbett said, what is the why with leaves? I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Oh, the why with leaves app on my Mac. Yeah, that's YNAB, ynab.com, younitabudget.com. Great app for personal finance. And the chalkboard app is called Scalpel. It's made by the same people that make Scrivener. It's a great mind map program. Let's see. Sam said, I'm curious how you use Evernote so you can find stuff quickly. My swipe file is so big I can barely find the good stuff. Yeah, I'll share my screen to show you what I do. And I pasted a link in chat if anybody wants to jump on video. You're happy to. All right, so this is how I use Evernote. So I keep a landing page swipe file, which really is just like really more of like just a web page swipe file. And there's a whole bunch of crap in here. Almost over 2 years worth of stuff. Every time I just see a good page or see something I want to come back to later that's a web page, I throw it in there. Also, something I've started doing recently is downloading the videos that people have on their page. So yesterday, I bought a copy of Brian Rand's new course or something that he had out on Facebook ads because that's something I'm interested in right now. And I've been wanting to optimize my one-click upsell pages. So I took a snapshot of his one-sell upsell page and then ripped the video that he has there. So when I go to make mine, I can use his as a template to form mine off of. So I keep the document right here. This is the video.
Hey there, it's Brian again.
So when I want to do mine, I can go back and just listen to that to see how he did it. So that's what I do. I just so when I go to snip a page, this is what I do. Like I really like this layout of this page. So what I would do is just grab this little lock or unlock right here, drag it over to Snagit, which lives up here in the menu bar, drop it, and Snagit will take a screenshot of that entire page. There's some other apps that do that. I've just found Snagit to be the most reliable and the easiest to use. So Snagit opens up the whole app, does the snapshot, throws it in here, and then I just click Evernote. It's going to push that into Evernote, and then I move it to the landing page swipe file page. And a lot of times what I'll do as well is pull the URL off, or if there's any rich media on here that I'll need to download, like a video, then I would rip it. Ripping video, that little workflow took me forever to figure out, by the way. So ripping video took me a while to figure out as well, like an efficient way to do that. I was fixing our dryer over lunch break. That's what this video is. But there's a little app called iSkySoft. There's other ones that'll download YouTube videos. YouTube's the easiest one to do, but Wistia and other videos like that are harder. I found iSkySoft to be the most consistent on doing it. So you copy the URL, you hit paste URL, it'll scrape that video. Once it's downloaded, it puts in this downloaded section. Then you can click the little magnifying glass. Oh, let me go to one I did recently. So this is the retargeting one I did yesterday. Click the little upsell video, click the magnifying glass. Here we go. It'll take you straight to that. And then I move it up here. I drag it up to drop zone, which I keep in the menu bar, drop it in FTP upload, and that puts it on my website. So it's like they can't take it down now, and I don't want to keep it on my hard drive. So I just upload it to FTP. That pumps out a URL for me. Actually, we'll just do this real quick because I don't think I ever uploaded that one. It'll sit up here and show you the progress on it. And when it's done, it automatically copies a URL to the clipboard where you can come back and stick it on right here where it needs to go. So when I go to redo my upsell pages for the next launch, I can use that as a template. So usually video takes a little bit to upload. That's how I rip stuff for my purposes. Email, we went through a few workflows on that. I don't really save email to Evernote anymore. What we'll do is we'll, like if there's a sequence we want to save, we'll put it kind of in the format that we do our product launch playbook in. The product launch playbook is just all the emails that we send during our launch. We'll put them all into one document, usually use it as a giveaway or sell it or bonus material or something later on. So we'll take this basic format, which Catherine actually designed the product launch playbook version 1.0. This is 2.0, just in a Google Doc format. And we'll just catalog them all like this. So let's see if I can find one for you real quick. Oh yeah, so here is my buddy Jeff Goins. We were wanting to know like what affiliate emails to send out. So Matt McWilliams managed his launch. So we just went through my own email he had sent us and just cataloged it all together. So I found myself not putting that stuff in Evernote because it's just a bad format. Oh, stand by. So this uploaded, automatically copied the URL. So now I just want to come back in here and add it here. And now anytime I want to watch that video, I have access to it. So I found find myself putting email swipe into series like this. Like if I want to see some of these series of emails, I usually don't like individual emails I tag inside of Gmail and I can go and look at them when I want, but series are just hard to do that. So afterwards, once we find a series we want, which I think we're cataloging one right now, we'll put it into a Google Doc and just save it for later use if we need it. So that's how I do it. Evernote, I use Evernote for a lot more things than just swipe file. Kind of one workflow I have is anytime I think of something I want an employee or a contractor to do, like let's say there's a new process I want Jessica, who's my assistant, to document. I'll say Jessica : document the coaching. Let's say this would be more likely what I'd write. Create a quick GDoc bullet point list of the main things we do when a new coaching client board, whatever. That's just a random idea I have for her. I won't just send it to her. I'll save it in Evernote first. And then each morning I go through my Evernote inbox And then I'll take that. If it starts with Jessica Colon, I'll just drag it over to Jessica and drop it in her Evernote notebook. So all I have to do in real time is save the note. And then in the morning, I come in and sort the notes. Now, Monday morning, when me and Jessica talk, I'll open up her Evernote folder and we'll go over pending stuff inside of here. And a lot of the things we don't wind up doing, like it winds up after I think about it for a few hours or a few days, like, that's probably stupid. We just won't do that. But on our Monday morning call, we'll go over the last things I've entered in here since our last call. And then I'll just delegate those out to her if we still want to do them. That's kind of a workflow. That works really well. So I have an Evernote notebook for all the major contractors. Every time I have an idea, I just drop them inside of their folder. On our Monday morning call, we go over them. That's one of the best ones that I found, little workflows. Does she delete the notes as she completes them? No, I delete them on the call. So what we do, let me show you this. On our call, I open up a Trello board. So I open up a Trello board. I'll keep this on my left side screen of my notebook. But on the Trello board, as we go through, as I delegate tasks to her, I'll have Evernote basically on one side, the Trello board on the other side. So I'll go through, let's pull up like Jessica's folder. As we go through and I delegate them out, I'll put them into this checklist. So I actually have two of these open. I'll have one, the stuff we delegated last time. So all this, these are the things I gave her last time. And then for the call that we're on, I'll create a new checklist. So we'll just come down here, Jessica, and I'll just date it 2/17/16. That's today's date. Add a checklist. So the first thing we do on a call is go over stuff that we talked about last time, and then we go over new stuff. So the first thing we do would be to go over. Now we just go line by line. It's like, how to go with this, how to go with this. Some things I'll know what their answers are, and I'll just check them off. And then, all right, let's go over new stuff. That's where I'll open up my folder, and then we'll go down the new stuff. And I'll delete stuff as I'm talking through it because I'm like, that's dumb. That's a waste of time. Don't do it. After I've mulled on it for a few days, or if it's something we're going to do, we'll talk through it. I'll tell her how to do it. If she has any questions, then I'll just copy that over, put in the checklist. And on the next call, we're going to go back over it again. So there was a phrase I heard on The Prophet, actually, the TV show The Prophet, that says you have to inspect what you expect. And that doesn't mean you become a micromanager, but I've just found it's good for me as a manager and a leader to remember what I've delegated. And I have such a bad memory, I have to write it down. So it's just a good little workflow. It takes us, 5 or 10 minutes most of the time to go through the stuff we talked about last time, 5 or 10 minutes to go over the new stuff. And then we have a checklist of other stuff we'll go over. I have a checklist, a Trello board for her. Let's see. And one of the things on it is stuff to do every time we talk. So we keep a checklist, and after we go over what's new or what did we talk about last time and go over stuff we talked about, new stuff, then we go over her checklist. And then this is always a living thing. We just go down the checklist. All right, turn your meeting notes into action items on Trello. Send me the copy of the meeting notes afterwards. Invoice me on Friday. Review last week's call. Go over groove tickets, pay bills, review workshops, blah, blah, blah. And we just go down this thing. And as it makes sense to add more stuff to it, we add stuff to it. That's kind of the workflow with her. All right, let me... where did the Google Hangout go? Here we go. I wish there was an easier way to turn off screen share on Google Hangout so you didn't have all that ugliness. All right, any other questions on that kind of thing? I'm going to bump back over to chat real quick. Slingshot Lab, getting better. I tend to like one name if possible. Listened to the audiobook last night, and for every short I could figure out a way to apply it. Good. This week I'm going to do a 24-hour challenge to apply, plan, schedule every strategy. Oh, I like that. That would be intense because some of those are not easy to implement. Can you show that workflow again? We'll send out a replay where you can go back to it. Does she delete the notes? No. As I go through them, I'll delete them out of Evernote. Someone doesn't have a ton of traffic or large list. Would you recommend that person to concentrate on getting traffic or building out a proper email funnel first? So I guess it depends on what you mean by email funnel. My email funnels are pretty easy. You just have an opt-in, you come to the list. I wouldn't have any kind of complicated autoresponder series. So you do have to get traffic. So inside the course, we teach, let's see, the basic framework is get 100 in 24 hours and then do a giveaway, which I've learned a few little tweaks on a giveaway recently that we're going to update the course with, and maybe do an updated blog post as well. So we generally teach a traffic and list building, like traffic and list building strategies together. So that would be like a guest post, which produces both, workshops, which produce both, giveaways, which produce both, and then writing epic content and promoting it, which is a little harder, but a very good long-term strategy. So that's kind of the first 5 strategies we teach inside of the course. To copy a landing page or site, drag lock URLs to snag it, save to Evernote, landing page swap file. Yep, that's it. I'm in the process of validating a new concept. Do you vote trash or keep going? That's a way longer question. So we got about 5 minutes left. Let me look at that real quick, Sam. So it isn't about the concept, it's about your list. Yeah, Jason, that's the 10K subs course. We kind of teach all that inside of there. All right, so I'm looking at Sam's opt-in page. Sam, I'm not sure what let me come back to chat real quick and reread your thing. I'm in the process of validating a new concept. So I guess I don't know. Is that like a paid product? Do you have an email list currently? What's the email list built on? So generally what I teach is build an email list first. So kind of the roadmap is get 100 subscribers in 24 hours, 7 days max. You get a week to get 100 subscribers. After that, it should take you about 90 days to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're not worried about product right now. All we're worried about is producing content and building your email list to 1,000 subscribers in 90 days. Once you get to 1,000, then look back on your last 90 days of content, because during the process of getting to 1,000, we've started writing every day and publishing every Friday. And every piece of content you produce is just another form of product validation. You're looking to see, is that piece of content something my audience is interested in? And if it's something they're like super duper interested in, then you potentially want to create a product on that. But we want to have a big enough sample size first to determine, not is that a great product? That's not the question we want to ask. Or is that not, maybe not, is it a great product, but is that a good idea? That's not the question we want to ask. The question we want to ask is, are my 1,000 subscribers foaming at the mouth to buy this? That's the question you want to ask. So I can't tell you that because I don't know anything about what you're doing. So I'm assuming it's going to be a paid product you're talking about. If you don't have 1,000 subscribers first, I would recommend waiting, focusing on that intently, and then worrying about product. But because once you get 1,000 people in your list, picking out the product and launching the product is easy. That's the easy part. Getting to 1,000 is the hard part. Like if you're painting, like we painted this office recently, the hard part of painting isn't rolling paint on the wall. The hard part of painting is taping all the freaking molding and the ceiling and all that stuff. That's the annoying part. So that's what the building your list to 1,000 is first. Like that's the taping that's going to make your painting look good. You followed up. You said, do you agree with the idea that you have to be able to get paid traffic to have a viable product? No. I never touched paid traffic until 4 months ago, and I just dabbled in with it now. Just now have we started diving into paid traffic. Paid traffic is a strategy for way later on. Tisha asked, what's up, Tisha? Tisha has a great product. Link it up, Tisha, for everybody. Wistia killer. How do you come up with the content topics when you first started your blog? So Tisha, what I'd recommend is reach out to your audience. You have an email list. So I do 3 things. I guess the main thing is this. Make a list of 25 questions your target audience would have. That could be questions about your product, because Tisha, you already have a product. Most people don't when they start. So that could be questions about your topic, like how do I use video to sell? Because Tisha's product is a product called Optimized Player, which is a really cool product. Go check it out. How do I use video to sell? What are ways that I could use this product? How do I create video? How do I optimize video? How do I sell in video? How do I drive traffic with video? Like, make a list of questions beginners or your target market would have about your product and about your topic. You brainstorm that out. The second thing you do is email your list and ask them, hey, what questions do you have about video for your business? Here's a list of a few to get your mind going. The third thing you do would be to go to Quora or any question and answering type of site, or even like you go to the Wistia blog and look at comments, go to popular sites, look and see what questions people are asking. The goal is to get 25 questions listed out via brainstorming, via asking, and via looking around and being observant. Once you have those questions listed out, then you want to start building a habit of doing 2 things. Number 1, writing 250 words a day and pressing publish every Friday. So write 250 words, press publish every Friday. And you're writing 250 words, all you're doing is answering the questions your customers have. So you can take any blog post I've ever written and break it down into a question that I'm answering. So my latest launch blog post would be, how did your last launch go? I wrote 10,000 words to tell you. Like, I just answer the question very in-depthly. The next question would be like, what do you plan to do for 2016? And how did 2015 go? That's my year in review post. Like, it doesn't have to be the headline of what you write. The question I've just found to be an easy way, stand by. I found if you start with questions, it's really easy to answer them. If you start with trying to write a blog post, that's really hard and is paralyzing. So if I were to ask you, Tisha, how can I use Optimized Player to save me money on my monthly video hosting? You could answer me right away because you've done that before on our calls. Just take that, write that question down, turn on voice recorder, answer the question just like you were answering me, and then transcribe it and pretty it up. That's how you do it. Just answer those 25 questions. And once you get through those 25, you'll have generated a bunch of other questions. And if you haven't, then just brainstorm back out, ask your customers again. But I found every time you write a blog post, it generates 2 or 3 more blog posts. Yeah, Sam, paid traffic, you don't need it to start with. I actually recommend, unless you are experienced with paid traffic, to not mess with it at all till way later on. because you can lose a lot of money. It can become discouraging. You can quit your idea. All right, that's it. Product name, standby. Huh? Standby. Interesting. So we got good product ideas. If you have any other product ideas, just hit me up. I got a jet. We got the blabbing at 2 o'clock. Let me give you a link to that real quick in case you're interested. It should be really cool. Charlie Hohen and Brian Moran are going to be on talking about product launches they're in the middle of right now and sharing, hopefully sharing numbers and that kind of thing as well. Let's see here. So it should be good. Let me get you a link where you can come over to that. That'll start in 10 minutes. And I don't even have an outline for what I'm talking about yet. So I need to go do that. Here we go. Go to Blab. Here you go. Here's the link for it. Coming to you here. All right. So I'm gonna check out of here. Come to Blab. I'll be over there in about 9 minutes. We'll take this. We'll do a replay of it. I mean, not a replay. We're going to take it, upload it, and send you a copy of it so you can use it for later if you have any other questions. If you have any questions at all, let me know. If you implement any of these, Catherine, you talked about implementing them. Whoever implements these, share them with me on this next product, 24-hour product challenge we're doing next Friday. I want to share case studies of people that have taken these strategies and implemented them as a sell, as testimonials that this stuff works so that we can sell more stuff. So hit me up. You got about 10 days to do it. Hit me up with the results and the screenshots and that kind of thing of any of these 30 shorts that you've actually used. Let me know, send them to me, and I'll try to use as many as I can inside of this next 24-hour product challenge. All right, I got to go. Bye. Where's freaking Google Hangouts?